This is actually a bit of a surprise, everyone. I've naturally gotten requests to review many different Family Guy episodes over the years, and most of them have been for the more infamous ones, like Fresh Air, The Simpsons Guy, Seahorse Seashell Party, and Screams in Silence. But Roasted Guy is one I really haven't heard much of outside of the requests. I don't even know if it's mentioned much on TV tropes as far as Family Guy's more hated episodes go. Though to be fair, TV tropes really does kind of a purge of their wallbangers page every few months or so who knows. Is this episode really deserving of the scorn that so many more get? Well, it was requested, so there's just one way to find out.
We now return to DJ Butcher. DJ Butcher.
Hey, bro! Hey, you requesting a song or ordering some sliced meat?
You know, I think this is what McFarlane proposed to Fox before American Dad. And it really is sad that they put out this much effort to intentionally create a bad show within the show, and the joke still isn't funny. So we've only reached the first non sequitur, and I'm upset. Yeah, this isn't getting off to a good start at all. So Peter and Brian next watch one of those late night commercials for the Dean Martin Celebrity Roasts on home video. Actually, do they still air those things? I'm unfortunately spending too much of my time late at night watching bad episodes of shows like Family Guy because I apparently hate myself. Though it is still better than watching the presidential debates.
Wait, you mean Comedy Central didn't invent those?
No.
Well, what about Funny News? Did they invent that?
No, not really.
But they invented comedy.
They didn't invent anything.
You're gonna try and make me defend Comedy Central, aren't you? And yeah, that's the network that gave us Brickleberry and Drawn Together, but they also revived Futurama, so I'm giving them more slack than you, Fox. So because Peter is a man-child and gets mesmerized by anything he sees on TV, he wants to have his own roast. And the entire town agrees to it, because let's face it, Quahog wouldn't even be on the map without Peter Griffin doing something every week that gets on whatever this world's equivalent of Nash Mozart is.
And you fellas shouldn't pull any punches. Just let me have it.
Yeah, you probably already know how this is going to end up.
Jeez, Peter, you're more excited than Adrian Peterson at an arboretum.
Nope, not going there. Moving on.
Welcome to the roast of Peter Griffin.
Peter's always been special. In high school, he didn't play sports, but he did wear a helmet. You know, Peter, I love your chin, but I gotta ask, what's it like going through life with a scrotum so close to your mouth? You know what? Hold on. I'll just ask your teenage daughter.
That's inappropriate.
You know, Peter's challenging the stereotype of Irish guys being fat, drunk, and stupid by throwing a little gay in there, too.
Oh, nice. Homophobia.
And yeah, then the whole thing devolves into fat jokes. And penis jokes. You know, if these comedy writers were actually good at their jobs, I'd say this was almost an attempt to deconstruct the show's own lack of comedic talent.
Peter's so ugly he couldn't get raped in our holding cell down at the station.
It's not funny, it's not funny, it's not funny, it's not funny, it's not funny! It's not funny!
You know, as Lois's father, I hate the thought of her having sex with Peter.
And so do I!
Damn it, Lois, you stepped on my punchline. Shut up. You're drunk. Stop serving her.
Long story short here, Peter gets so upset over all the insults that he says he's done with people like Joe, Glenn, and Cleveland and goes off to find new friends, ultimately discovering...
Excuse me, can I please have another no-foam latte?
Yeah, sure, but you know I don't work here.
Oh, I'm sorry. You look just like one of the baristas.
He doesn't look that much like me.
I think she meant me.
Seth, that will only draw your viewers to watching the hot lesbians in porn more to get that side out of their eyes.
We were just debating if Jamie should hook up with this guy she met a few nights ago.
Okay, I want the deets like yesterday. What the hell? Did I just say that?
Oh, good God, there's some residual effect left over from Family Gay. Shields up, everyone!
Wow, you know, I know I just met you guys, but I've kind of been looking for a new group of friends.
So yeah, Peter now decides to hang out with a bunch of women. Insert your own hen jokes because I've done enough to piss off the SJWs. Also, bad joke about pandas not wanting to have sex. But upon bringing the ladies to his home, Peter discovers they aren't exactly friendly toward Lois. At least not after she leaves the room.
Seriously, Peter, how do you live with her?
I know that voice. Ugh. And what is that hair color? Creamy French dressing?
Hey, that voice came in handy back when she did cover songs of Alanis Morissette.
Yeah. Hey, if you think that's funny, she once had a miscarriage outside of Petco. I still have the security camera footage somewhere.
Meh, it wasn't a Meg joke, so I'll let it go.
Peter, I'm your conscience, Jiminy Cricket.
Ah, bug!
And then we get this. Because, you know, who wanted to keep their childhood intact anyway? After Brian naturally calls out Peter for all the Lois bashing, Peter confesses it all to Lois, and she's not surprised, because that's just what women do to one another. They talk behind each other's back. Because, yeah, women all secretly hate each other and that crap. So Peter spies on the ladies to see if they do the same thing to him.
I made it to the bathroom because I can't feel him walking anymore.
I know. Fee-fi-fo-fum, right?
You're like a nasty wolf pack.
I don't have a goddamn clue what they were going for with this cutaway. I'm just assuming they realized the episode was a minute short, and this was when they went to the white powder and razor blades to try and come up with something.
Those women were talking about me.
Go take it up on your Tumblr page, Pete. Fortunately, Peter is married to the best person in the world when you need revenge, and she doesn't just charge people to smear feces on the walls.
Peter, where are you? I thought we were gonna go after Becca.
Way ahead of you, Lois. I just cut her brakes. Jeez, I'm going like 95.
Peter, are you sure you didn't cut your brakes?
That's ridiculous. Why would I cut my own? Kids, get out of the way! I can't stop!
Just brakes. Just stop. And think about it.
Next is Jamie. Now, what's the most important thing in her life?
Oh, that's easy. Her daughter, Emily, is a competitive diver. The whole family's dream is that she gets a spot on the U.S. Olympic team.
So this time Peter went for the non-violent approach. He must have played King's Quest as a kid. Unfortunately, when Peter reached the Olympics, he had to settle for the bronze because the Russian judge was on the take. Then Peter's next move for Karen is not so pacifist.
Daughter's wedding for a year. If it doesn't go perfectly, she'll be crushed.
Already on it, Lois. I bribed one of the busboys. He has a little surprise planned for her.
Go! Oh my God! Somebody stabbed the groom!
And yet, that was still better than the plot of Bride Wars.
And you were right. Being friends with women is way too complicated and way too intense for me. Now let me just pay the busboy and we can get out of here.
And that's how being a fat guy can save your life. So then Peter tries to apologize to the guys to try and let him back in, and they weren't even aware that he left. Yeah, that sounds about right.
We're friends again?
We were never not friends, you idiot.
I love you guys. Guys are the best. Not women.
And the episode ends on a joke saying that only one of the episode's 26 writers was a woman. Hey guys, all that says is that you're so incompetent at writing that you needed 26 people to write one episode. But here's where I risk losing a bunch of Patreons. Is this one of Family Guy's worst episodes? Not even close, to be honest. Yeah, the thing got off relatively slow and there was some gags that went on a bit too long and maybe too far. But the overall story was as close to classic Family Guy that I've seen in a long time. Its one major sin may be that it does kind of play off stereotypes of men and women, which does usually grind my gears. But somehow it doesn't come off as blatantly annoying as it always did on Friends. Almost like it's mocking those stereotypes. Does the resolution get kind of dark? Well, Family Guy's always been a dark comedy, even back when it was good. And I'm not completely against dark comedy. I read Pearls Before Swine. I can get into it if the comedy is clever or ludicrous enough, and this episode was enough of the latter to really do it for me. Lois acting like a vengeful witch to aid a family member is something she's done in earlier episodes, and Peter pretty much acts like the dolt he's always been. Brian has very little presence, and all bashing of Meg is kept to a bare minimum. So, to be honest, I can see why this episode hasn't been complained about as much as many others, because it doesn't suck as bad as those others. Yeah, that's not a great endorsement to say this Family Guy didn't suck as much, but it was at least tolerable, if not maybe harkening back to what it used to be. I'm sure there are still far worse Family Guy episodes out there that I have yet to review. Oh, god damn it!